안녕하세요. Hi everyone, welcome to All Things Korean. In today's video, I'm going to explain the difference between the vowels O and U. I've actually gotten quite a few comments asking to do this video, and the difference is actually pretty straightforward and easy, especially if you are an English speaker. So I'm going to do a quick little video on what the difference is between the two, and then I'm going to share with you my theory on why I think these two vowels are confusing for Korean learners. So let's get straight to it. The difference between O and U. The vowel O is kind of like the O that you hear in words like story or holy, obituary. You know, like that O sound. However, a slight difference between the English O and the Korean O is that in English, the O is kind of like a diphthong. And what I mean is that there are two or more vowels that gets combined into one sound. If you want to learn more about this, I suggest you check out my other video where I explain the difference between O and O. But basically, the English O, it kind of starts like O, more open, and then it gets into O, and then it kind of ends in U, right? So in the English O, you have O, kind of like three vowels meshed into one, whereas the Korean O is a monophthong. I can extend this O and just keep going, and there won't be any changes in the sound. So Korean is O and English is O. Okay, so it's a subtle difference, but if you can just catch that O sound, like that O, that is what the Korean O sounds like. Now, what about the next one, U? This is kind of like the U sound that you hear in words like super, U, super, right? Or the OO sound in tool, you know, pool, or poop, you know? Or we can look at the Spanish word, uno, which means one in Spanish, right? So there's two syllables in that word, u, which is the Korean u, and then no, where the second vowel is o, so uno. Maybe that might help. Another difference is the position of the tongue. So mouth shape-wise, both vowels are the same. They're kind of like round, like you're kissing someone. Ooh. But the O is a bit lower. So the tongue and consequently the jaw is positioned a little bit lower. So if you look at it from the side, U, O, U, O, U, O. If you go back between the U and O, you should notice that when you say O, the jaw kind of shifts downward. And that's it. I think these two vowels should be pretty easy to distinguish, especially if you speak English. If you speak Spanish, I think that should help even more, even though I don't really speak Spanish, and uno was the only example I could think of, but hopefully that helps. Now here is why I think this vowel can be a bit confusing. And that is in conversation when you hear Koreans talking, specifically in these whole dialect. So it's not standard Korean, it's just a certain dialect that is spoken in Seoul. A lot of speakers, a lot of Korean speakers tend to pronounce their O as U in certain parts of the word. Not all the time. And I think it happens more in females than males. But it happens a lot for word endings like ko, to, things like that. So for example, a word like 그리고, which means and, it tends to get pronounced as 그리구, 그리구. It should be ko, but sometimes people pronounce it as 구, 그리구. A couple more examples. The word 나도, which means me too, 나도. People can pronounce it as 나두, 나두. 여기로, to here, you know, 여기로, that 로 tends to get pronounced as 루, 여기로, 여기로 와, 여기로, instead of 로. So usually it doesn't happen within like words or adjectives. They happen a lot in these like sentence endings or suffixes. But one exception I can think of is the word 삼촌, which means uncle. This word tends to get pronounced as 삼촌 a lot as well. 삼촌, when it should be 삼촌. Let's look at a couple other real life examples together.
후렴 마지막 부분을 좋아하고요. 그리고
안 받았어 나도. 안 받았어 나도.
마인드적으로도 바뀌고 말투도 좀 많이 바뀌고 그래서 마인드적으로도 바뀌고 말투도 좀 많이 바뀌고 그래서
So let me know if I was right and this is the reason why you might find it confusing. If this is the case, then the issue is not with your listening, but the issue is with the way the words are actually being pronounced. So if this does apply to you and if those like word endings or sentence endings are usually where you have trouble differentiating the two vowels, then don't beat yourself up about it. They're just really being pronounced differently. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. I hope it helped. If you found it informative, it would help a lot if you could give this video a like for the algorithm, subscribe to All Things Korean for more videos related to Korean language and stuff. You could also check out my vlog channel, which I'll leave in the description. I've made it a goal to explore Korea because I can't travel, so if you want to live vicariously through me and explore Korea together, then head over there. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. 다음 영상에서 만나요.